With the summer season of anime coming to a close, it's time to make way for the next new season of animes to come. Fall 2021 is set to bring out some of the best new anime titles that everyone has been waiting for. In my opinion, I think this season is going to be one of the best in the entire year. Whether it's a new manga adaptation or a sequel to another anime, this is one season you definitely do not want to miss. With that being said, welcome back to Apheliotes. Here on this channel we have compiled a list of some of the best new animes to have come out for the fall season of 2021. Now before we get started, make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and also subscribe to my channel for more anime and manga recommendations. With that being said, let's get right on into it. Here's my top 10 list of new animes to watch for fall 2021. Now this list is in no particular order, but at number 10 we have My Senpai is Annoying. This show is one of the most wholesome shows you can ever watch this season. With a mix between comedy and romance as well as some slice of life, you'll see exactly why this show has been capturing the hearts of anyone who watches it. The story revolves around the main character Igarashi Futaba, who has a normal office job working as a salesperson. She is under the supervision of her senpai, who she finds extremely annoying. Whether it be the head pats, the size difference, or even treating her like a kid, whatever he does just seems to be annoying to her. But even with that being said, they are always found spending time together doing various kinds of things, so whether or not she really finds him annoying is yet to be seen. But with that comes one of the best stories ever, as you'll see exactly how two characters who are a perfect match for each other ends up going about their daily lives trying to handle their work. It's a story of unique characters with fun and charming personalities that I think will be one of the top shows of the season. Number 9. Banished from the hero's party, I decided to live a quiet life in the countryside. Set in a fantasy world where there are heroes and demons lurking about, this is a story about a main character called Red, who once was a part of the legendary hero party set to defeat the Demon Lord. However, during his adventures of battling demons, he was eventually kicked out of the party as his stats and abilities deemed him to be weaker than the rest of the party. Because of this, he distances himself from the group and eventually settles in a town with the goal of opening a herb shop. By using his vast knowledge and skills that he attained during his travels, he is able to curate various kinds of herbs and ingredients that are hard to find, eventually leading him to open up his dream herb shop and selling his items to the masses. However, soon after, an old friend of his appears who is also a princess that was once a part of his legendary party, and together they aim to live a slow and happy life by running the herb shop together. It's truly one of the more interesting animes to have come out of this season, and in my opinion, very underrated. In a show that carries through adventure, fantasy, and powerful abilities, this is one show I think everyone will love. Number 8. Platinum End. From the creators of Death Note comes one of the most fantastic animes to have come out of this season. Similar to Death Note, Platinum End is a dark fantasy type show that boasts a brilliant story revolving around God-given powers. Basically, the story revolves around the main character Mirai, who is fed up with life after living with his abusive aunt and uncle. It is then where he contemplates suicide. However, just before he is about to die, he is saved by the guardian angel called Nase, who grants him special powers. But soon after receiving these powers, he is told that God himself is about to retire and a new replacement God is to be chosen. And the candidates to choose from are those that have been given special powers by these angels, which includes Mirai himself. Now, being a candidate to become God, he is faced with a huge problem, and he is now stuck in a battle royale type of situation, where some of these God candidates will go to lengthy and dangerous measures just to make sure they win the title of God. Overall, it's a series that is absolutely worth the watch, as you'll see exactly how scared or cruel people will become just to accomplish their goals. And if the show is not enough for you, then you'll be happy to know that the manga for this anime is officially finished, which means fans who want to see more of this show can do so by simply reading the manga. Number 7. Fina, Pirate Princess. Fina Pirate Princess is actually a unique show, as it is both a Crunchyroll and Adult Swim original that was created by Production IG. Because of this, you know that show is going to be a heavy hitter, as that same company produced the likes of Psycho-Pass and Guilty Crown. Basically, the show revolves around the girl Fina Hauptmann, who found herself being shipwrecked and separated from her childhood friend Yukimaru, as well as it taking her father's life. Because of this, she is now trapped on the island, forced to spending her life selling herself to other men. However, on the night that she is supposed to be married to a client, Fena decides to make a plan and escape from the island. It is there where she runs into an island that is filled with samurai pirates. There she learns about her family's secrets and eventually takes charge of the samurai crew with the goal of searching for a secret place. With that being said, dangers and problems will be lurking in the shadows and she'll have to navigate the high seas around any type of challenge that comes her way. This show combines both action, adventure, and beautiful visuals that will lead viewers on an epic journey as we watch how Fena follows her goals and journeys as a pirate princess. Number 6. Talked OP Destiny. You know the show is going to be good when you have two of the best anime studios ever working together, being MAPPA and Madhouse, and making shows that is unlike any other. It's a story that combines both music and action and makes for one of the best series of the season. This is one of the series that I had my eyes on for quite some time now once I heard it was going to be released, and sure enough, it absolutely blew me away. Basically what happens in the story is that it takes place in a futuristic United States where a black meteorite fell and brought to the planet various monsters called D2 who appears to want to take over the world. And the one thing that these D2 monsters hate is music, which is why the country has officially banned people from playing any type of melodies. However, even with that being said, the only form of defense against these monsters are music hearts, who are young girls representing pieces of classical music, and the conductors who control them. It's a show filled with beautiful visuals, enchanting music, and also epic fight scenes that will have anyone watching on the tip of their seats. This is one I can definitely foresee many people falling in love with, and with MAPPA and Madhouse leading the way, I have high hopes for how this show is going to be. Number 5. Komi-san can't communicate. This is a series many people have been waiting for to get an anime adaptation for a long time now, and for the fall season 2021, it is finally here. It's a show that is filled with comedy and a bit of slice of life that makes it totally worth watching. Basically, the show revolves around the girl Shoko Komi, who is the most popular student inside of her school. Everyone around her is simply enchanted by her. However, the only problem is that she has a strange disorder where she is unable to communicate with anyone around her. And what's interesting is that nobody notices this bit about her except for one guy named Hirohito Tadano. Once he finds out about her disorder, he instantly tries to make her feel better by talking to her. Although no words are able to come out of her mouth, they are able to communicate through writing, and eventually he realizes that her only wish is to be able to make 100 friends in school. With that starts some of the most interesting shows you can ever watch, as you'll see exactly how two socially awkward students are able to come together and help each other out. With many humor and comedic gags, this is one show that everyone will love. Number 4. The world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. A few seasons ago, we got one of the most controversial animes to have come out on air, being Redo the Healer. And now in the fall season 2021, that same creator of Redo the Healer has another anime coming to air, being the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. It's one of the most anticipated animes of this season, and for good reason too. Being the world's greatest assassin going on missions for a secret organization might sound fun and all, but what happens when the organization itself betrays you? Well, you end up getting a second chance at life while also being able to be reincarnated to another world. And the goddess who grants him the second chance at life gives him the option to be reincarnated with the sole goal of defeating the hero in another world. He is given various amounts of powers and skills and is sent forth to live his new life as an aristocrat while honing his skills secretly as an assassin. It's truly a tale that is quite different from most other isekais to come out recently, as in this story, the main character will basically have to defeat the hero of this doomed world before he brings the world to destruction. It's a tale of magical powers and fantasy living that makes for one heck of an anime to watch. Number 3. Ranking of Kings. Okay, I have to admit, after first reading about the show and seeing the picture of it, I almost immediately wrote it off. But thankfully I did it, as somehow I was very curious about what the show was going to entail. and boy was I surprised. Ranking of Kings has immediately become one of the best shows to come out of this season. With an art style that resembles the animes that come out of the 90s, this is one show that everyone needs to watch. It revolves around the boy named Baji, who is both deaf and mute. However, as he is the firstborn son of the king, he has dreams of becoming the world's greatest king, which in this world has many different ranks. But because he doesn't showcase the qualities of a king, many people around him talk behind his back as being a useless person that is not suited to be a king. Even with that being said, he's able to make friends and eventually meets various people who comes into his life, including one creature called Kage. And with that, he sets out on one of the most beautiful and wholesome adventures that anyone has ever seen. With the goal of becoming the greatest king in the world, it's a story that is masterfully written and one that will captivate the hearts of anyone who watches. Trust me, this is one show where you definitely can't judge a book by its covers. Number 2. Miracle-chan.
まあいいか。日常生活には全く支障ないし。
This is a popular manga series that's been going on with many fans around the world, and it finally got adapted into an anime for fall 2021. Mixing together both horror and comedy, it shows everyone just how amazing ghosts can be. The story basically revolves around the main character Miko Yatsuya, who is an ordinary high school student. She unfortunately, however, has been cursed with the ability to see scary ghosts and horrifying spirits as they wander around her everyday life. But even with that being said, Miko is trying her best to ignore these scary beings while living her ordinary life. However, these spirits and ghosts just simply won't leave her alone. She can see exactly just how they disturb the people around her, especially her close friends. Because of this, in order to protect them from the annoyances of the ghosts and spirits, Miko gives it her best to avoid troublesome situations even if they bring her to tears. It's a story that is lighthearted and filled with comedy, horror, and supernaturals that will make you never want to stop watching. I honestly can't wait for each episode to come out, as this show is definitely one of the best to air this season. Number 1. Jobless Reincarnation.
変な匂いがするわね。
The granddaddy of all isekais, Jobless Reincarnation or Mushoku Tensei is a continuation of the anime that aired earlier on this year. With the fall season 2021 brings a much anticipated second season as the story continues to follow Rudeus and his friends as they travel on a journey to find their way back home. The story basically continues exactly where they left off as Rudeus and his group arrive in a new town or are met with new problems and dangers that come their way. It's literally one of my most favorite animes of all time as the entire story revolves around world building, character interactions, and a plot that is actually enjoyable. It's a series that I seriously missed during the rest of the year when we had to wait for the announcement of season 2 for fall 2021. But now that it's here, it's time to start watching. And with that being said, I do have a few questions to ask. Will Rudeus be able to find his way back home as Eris? Will he be able to see Roxy's holy relic again? Well, we'll just have to wait and see. Now with that being said, that concludes our list of the top 10 animes to watch for fall 2021. However, we aren't done yet. There is still an anime we want to mention specifically as they are too good to not watch. And that anime is Demon Slayer. Now, Demon Slayer Season 2 doesn't officially come out until December, but in the fall season 2021, there is actually a series of Demon Slayer episodes that come out as well. These episodes revolve around the Mugen Train arc, which is similar to the movie released. This miniseries will showcase never before seen footage from how the Flame Hashira was able to get on the train and also some backstories as well. It's a series that is definitely worth the watch, especially if you're a fan of Demon Slayer. And with that brings us to the end of this video. I just want to say thank you all for watching and hopefully you all enjoyed watching this because I had a lot of fun making this. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel, as it would mean so much to me. And with that being said, I'll see you later.